The American Yawp, Chapter 18. The railroads created the first great concentrations of American capital, spawned the first massive corporations, made the first of the vast fortunes that would define the Gilded Age, unleashed labor demands that united thousands of farmers and immigrants, and linked country to city forever. Industry pulled ever more Americans into cities, both from the countryside and from abroad. Manufacturing needed the labor pool and the infrastructure. America's urban population increased sevenfold in the half century after the Civil War. Soon, the United States had more large cities than any other country in the world. The 1920 United States Census revealed that for the first time, a majority of Americans lived in urban areas. Much of that urban growth came from the millions of immigrants pouring into the nation. Between 1870 and 1920, over 25 million immigrants had arrived in the United States, most of them landing in East Coast cities. They reshaped those American cities, now strung up with electrical wires, now laid down with sewer pipes, now teeming with European languages and dynamic politics. Cities grew in the American South as well. Efforts were made in the New South to turn their back on the past by embracing industrialization and a more diversified agriculture. In practice, however, the New South resembled the Old South. The Confederacy's failed insurrection wreaked havoc on the Southern economy and crippled Southern prestige. Property was destroyed, lives were lost, political power had vanished, and 4 million enslaved Americans, representing the wealth and power of the antebellum White South, threw off their chains and walked proudly forward into freedom. This emancipation radically unsettled the Southern social order. When Reconstruction regimes attempted to grant freed people full citizenship rights, anxious whites struck back. From their fear, anger, and resentment, they lashed out, not only in organized terrorist organizations such as in the KKK, but in political corruption, economic exploitation, and violent intimidation. White Southerners took back control of their state and local governments and used their reclaimed power to disenfranchise African Americans and pass Jim Crow laws segregating schools, segregating transportation, segregating employment, and segregating various public and private facilities. The East and West were changing in the United States, but the South would largely remain as it had.